again to tuning in to this episode of Pieces of She. I'm really excited. This is actually our final episode in our senior season, season 3. So this season has been amazing. I have learned some wonderful things just about life. People have shared information about relationships, love, friendship, grief, just life lessons and things that they've learned. And it's been very enlightening, very emotional at times. It's been wonderful. And so I really enjoyed season 3, my senior season. I'm so glad that we did that, and I hope that you guys enjoyed it just as much as I did. Today, I have our final guest here, Miss Minnie Hill. I'm really excited. Before I get started and introduce her with the famous 5, I forgot, tea time, my shirt says, be nice. And then on the back, it actually says, because mean people suck. So, so I just think that what inspired me to wear this shirt today is it just seems like people are just not nice anymore. And human kindness is a rarity, which shouldn't be. So just a reminder for everybody, be nice. So be nice today to somebody. So again, Minnie Hill. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I did that. Miss Minnie Hill, so excited to have her. Famous 5 questions. She is from Fordyce, Arkansas.
Yes.
She is a baby boomer. Yay. I've interviewed countless baby boomers this season, and you guys are amazing.
Thank you.
She grew up early with both parents, and then later on in her younger years, single parent household. There were 10 of them. Whew, a lot of kids. And she was the second oldest. There were 7 girls and 3 boys in her household. And now she actually is the oldest. Her older brother passed, but everybody else is now, she's top dog. And her zodiac sign, she is a Gemini. And it's funny, I was telling her that I went to go see Gemini Man last night. Great movie. If you hadn't seen it, go see it. What was the last movie you've seen? Do you go to the movies?
I go to the movies periodically. I watch a lot of movies on TV. The last movie I saw, I believe it was Samuel L. Jackson and Ryan Reynolds in, what was that movie? It was so good, too.
Was
I really
it?
love it, yeah.
Okay.
The Hitman's Bodyguard.
Oh, I
that
did
movie.
not see that, but I did see the trailer. It looked great.
It's a good movie.
So now I have to go back
It's a good movie.
and see that. So welcome. I'm
Thank
so
you.
glad to have you here.
I'm very happy to be here. I
Yes.
really am. I'm excited.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. I know I introduced you with your famous 5, but who is Miss Minnie?
Well, Miss Minnie, I am from Fordyce, Arkansas. Actually, I was born in Winchester, Arkansas, but raised in Fordyce.
Gotcha.
And Winchester is about 50, 60 miles from Fordyce. Population, who knows, maybe a couple hundred people. And then, but we were raised in Fordyce, Arkansas. I went to school. Dallas County Training School was the elementary school that I attended. J.E. Wallace High, which was named after one of our principals later on in life. But I graduated from J.E. Wallace High. Grew up there in Fordyce at 20, moved to Las Vegas, and I've been here since then.
Okay.
But I was raised in the South, and the South is an interesting place. Always has been, probably always will be. The lines were clearly divided during where I'm from, between African Americans and Caucasians, and it was just an interesting life, very interesting lifestyle. I was when we did live in Winchester, you know, we lived on a farm, and I have picked cotton, chopped cotton. You know, at dinner time, you went out in the backyard and either dug it up or pulled it from a bush or a tree or what have you. I had the fresh everything up to it, including the chicken, where you just kind of grabbed him, twisted him around, broke his neck, and dumped them in a pot of hot water.
And you've done that.
I did not do that. I've just witnessed that.
Gotcha.
Okay, no, I did not do that. But I did see that. But we did dig up our own potatoes, pull out the tomatoes, and pull corn, shuck peas. Shell peas, shuck corn, the whole 9 yards. So growing up back then was they call them the good old days. I don't. They were hard working, but they taught you so many valuable things in life about growing up and what it meant to work.
Gotcha.
And I've worked all my life. And back there, when we went to the cotton fields, everybody went to the cotton fields. You get up early in the morning, you have a heavy breakfast, and you go to the cotton field at 3 or 4. They took a flour sack, empty flour sack, put a string on it, threw it across your back. You pick cotton, and what you pick, you put in the adult's bag to make 100 for the day. And so, and that was the beginning of my work experience.
Right. And how old were you?
Oh, about 5, 3, 4, 5, something like that. Because nobody get to sleep in like folk do today.
Yeah.
There was no such thing as sleeping in. You get up and you go to work. And I think that work builds integrity. Gives you a sense of value and importance in life. So I have a hard time with lazy people.
Gotcha.
I have a really, really hard time with people that are always with the hands out and asking for things for somebody, because I don't ask, I don't beg, and I don't steal.
Yeah.
You know, and I can't handle those character traits.
You know, I don't know. What do you think about this? Because what I think is that a lot of people that did have it hard and they had to work hard and do that, they wanted a better life for their kids. So they didn't make their kids do all the hard work that they, so you think that that was a bad thing to
I think
not make them work?
I do. I really do. I wanted better for my children. I didn't want them to do what I never want my kids to go through what I went through.
Right.
But I didn't want them to grow up thinking that you should expect anyone to give you anything.
Gotcha.
You know, you still have to work. You know, you can't just sit here and do what? You know, you got to be about your life. You got to be doing something.
Yeah.
And so I taught my children to work. I taught my children that if you want something, you can earn it. You can be anything you want. Doesn't matter. Don't tell me that you can't. You can tell me that you don't want to, but I don't accept you can't. I mean, there's probably things that they couldn't do, but you know, you just can't always throw that I can't at me that I hear a lot from people. You know, and I taught them, you can do anything you want to do. You can be what you want to be.
Yeah.
You know, get out there and make it happen for yourself. And as far as my sons, it was really important for me for them to not grow up and be a statistic.
Okay.
Because when I had my sons, you know, black boys were just I mean, it's still going on. So for me, it was my world at that time. I did not want my boys to grow up and be a statistic, you know, and I didn't want my daughter to be out there also. And so I held them close to me.
Gotcha.
I held them really close to me.
Now, how many kids do you have?
I have 3. I have 2 boys and a girl.
Okay.
And I tell my daughter that she is my favorite daughter, and she tells me that I'm her only daughter. And I tell her that doesn't make a difference. You're still my favorite.
Right,
you know, what's your boy? You know. But I have 3 wonderful children. I really do.
Now, what do they do for a living?
My daughter works at Anderson Dairy. My
Okay.
son is a manager over at Amazon.
Wonderful.
And my oldest son runs a business. He runs Sober Living Homes. So they're not independently wealthy, but they're wealthy otherwise, and they're hard workers, and they're people of integrity. And that's important to me.
Yeah.
That they're people of integrity. They don't steal. They don't bully. They don't bother. They're just good, honest people, and I love them deeply.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what's important to me, my children.
Okay. Now, are you married?
I am not married.
Okay. All right. Well, good. And then, what do you do? Do you work? Are you retired?
No, I'm not retired. I'm working.
Okay.
I work for the Department of Family Services.
Wow, very nice.
Child Protective Services, but I work on the
Gotcha.
family side where I reunify families.
Wonderful.
And that's my passion.
That is great.
Because the family is under attack.
Yeah.
The family is under attack, and families are falling apart, and the value of family and that commitment is just we're losing it.
Yeah.
We're losing it.
What do you think what is the biggest, I guess, factor in the loss of, you know, the importance of family?
I think there are multiple dynamics to that. I think that, you know, as we strive to gain the American dream, I I think many people don't have a clear understanding of what that dream is and how to achieve it. I think that we're living in an instant society, a microwave society. If you want, I want it now.
Yeah.
And you got to work for it. You need to work for it. I think that there is an illusion or a facade, and I think that TV creates a lot of that, because on TV, everybody, even poor people on TV, look better than some of us in real life.
Gotcha.
You know, and I think that striving and reaching for that goal is contaminating us as people. And in the African American family, I think that we've always been under attack anyway.
Okay.
You know, I'm that person. You know,
Yeah.
I do believe that African Americans, our family has always been under attack. And I think that when we, as my generation, don't strive to share, promote, instill, and talk about the value of that, we continue to lose. And we're getting lost in the melting pot of drugs, alcohol, quick fixes, things of that nature that just really takes us off of our focus. And
Gotcha.
I just believe that strongly. I also believe that the African American needs to go back home to his woman and his children.
Okay.
Because when we lose our males, we lose everything.
Yeah, yeah. Here's a question I have for you. You grew up in the South,
I did.
and it was very different. I mean, I was born and raised here, you know, Las Vegas, but I know that it was different, especially in your era, and then also in the South. You had to endure Jim Crow and things like that. Do you believe that this system that we live in was designed to break the black families apart?
It's
Or-
interesting that you asked me that question,
Okay.
because as early as this morning I was reading the Willie Lynch letters.
Gotcha.
Okay, and my word of life to our people is that every African American go now and read that letter, and you will see the beginning of the destruction of the African American family. And it started with the breaking of the African American male. When you break down that male who is strength, character, determination, but when that is broken, it can't help but break me as a black woman, because I need to see him be strong,
Yeah.
so that I can hold on to his strength and pass that strength on to our children.
Gotcha.
And if you don't have that, it's very difficult. And for whatever, I'm not exactly sure, it's probably just growing up in the South that I understood that, and I raised my boys to be strong, independent thinkers, and take care of yourself and your family. And that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
And I raised my daughter to strive for something better, and that's what they're doing. So I read those letters this morning, and it was just so powerful to me. And that letter did exactly what he said. In his letter, he told the white slave owners how to break the African American and make it last for the next 300 years to 1,000 years, and it's still going on. And another thing is that we can look into 400 years without a comb. We don't understand as a people who we are and how strong we are and what we bring to the world as a whole. If our people understood, then we would understand the fear that other races have for us. We are an amazing people.
Yeah, I
We
do know
really
that
are.
for
We are
sure.
an amazing people. We're strong. We're powerful. We're determined. We're survivors.
Yeah,
We're survivors.
and very creative.
Extremely.
We will figure it out, and very resilient.
Because need forces us to figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, when they gave us the juice or from the main meal, that was where the nutrients were. We didn't know that at the time, but that's why we were so strong.
Right.
You know, and so we took that and learned how to make it better.
Yeah,
So, you know, we are determined.
Yeah.
And we will make a way. We'll find a way.
right.
But we're losing that because we're searching for that dream in the dominant culture.
Well, I will tell you this. I do. I'm on social media limited. I don't really do Facebook. That's not my social media drug of choice, I guess, is Instagram. And I do follow a lot of people, what you call woke African Americans.
Okay.
And I do believe that there are a lot of people that are figuring that out and that are realizing, you know, how great of a people that we are. So do you see any hope? What do you feel or see for the future of the African American culture?
I see that we need a leader.
Okay.
We need a leader. We need this.
Yeah.
We need to get the information and the word out there. We need to talk about it. And then we need to be about it.
Yeah.
And we need
now
to
that.
appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate who I am as an African American woman. You know, I'm black. I'm older. I've lost my hair. You know, I'm struggling with my weight. I got all these things going on, but
And
I'm
you're
powerful.
beautiful and beautiful.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
But, you know, I'm still strong. You can't talk to me any kind of way. I don't accept just anything. I don't want my African American males, young or old, to refer to me as, hey, mama. If you don't know my name, just call me miss. Just call me miss.
Yeah.
Don't disrespect me, and don't disrespect other African American females. Don't disrespect human nature
Yeah.
and humans, but do not disrespect the African American female, because we are queens and we are worthy.
Well, that we are.
Okay.
I love
And so
that.
I think that's how we, it starts with one. It starts with me. I don't accept anything. I don't
Yeah.
accept junk and nonsense. Every time I have a chance to speak to someone, I speak life.
Gotcha.
I'm so smart.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
used to say to people like, you just think you're so smart. No, I know that I'm smart.
Right.
You know? And if you don't believe me, ask me something. Because I'm even smart enough to know that if I don't have the answer, go find it for you.
Yeah.
So that's what makes me smart.
Well, good. I love smart people.
Okay.
I do. I think that the brain is an amazing thing.
It is.
I think that people can really, really do anything that they say they're going to do.
They want
really
to do.
can. They want to do and are passionate about. What are some of the greatest things that you have learned in this thing called life? Like, what are some things that you learned and then made sure you instilled them in your children or in younger people? And I know hard work and integrity is one. We've discussed that.
I think when I was growing up in Arkansas, I wanted to go back to that because you asked me about the distinction between that culture and now.
Gotcha.
And I can tell you, and I could clearly see that. When I was a young girl growing up in Arkansas, the lines were so clearly drawn. White folks lived over there, black folks lived over here.
Gotcha.
White folks did not invite you into their world. It was clear.
Okay.
There was no pretense. There was no trying to make it look like something that it was not.
Got it.
You're not welcome over here. We don't want you over here. So don't come over here. And as long as you respected that line, you were pretty much okay. If they could help you, they would. They didn't care if you liked them or not. They didn't care what you felt about them or not. They were the dominant culture. They had the money. And they didn't worry about black folks and what they were doing, as long as black folks stayed in their place. You know, a lot of people resent that
Yeah.
word.
Yeah.
But that word could save your life. You know, it was not covert or overt. It was what it was. When I moved to Nevada, it was covert and deceitful.
Yeah.
It was extremely deceitful. I'm like,
You know they call this the Mississippi of the West.
oh, okay, that's good then. Because, you know, when I got out here, you know, I mean, it's like you saw white folks that act like they liked you, but they were doing such devastating things. I'm like, what is this? Because I didn't deal with that back in Arkansas. I knew white
Okay.
folk didn't like me.
Gotcha.
But if they were okay with me, hey, Manny, how you doing, Mr. So-and-so, Miss So-and-so?
Right.
It was clear. But it was so deceitful when I got here. It was covert.
Got it.
But racism has always been around. It's not
Yeah.
going anyplace.
So much so that the people that were entertainers, Sammy Davis Jr., they had to go through the back door.
Yeah, absolutely.
But to perform on this wonderful, magnificent strip that we have, you know, they couldn't even go through the front door of that hotel.
And they couldn't stay at the hotels. They stayed at the Moulin Rouge. They
Yeah.
got destroyed over here, and I really hate
That
that
was
because it's a
arson.
historical landmark. It was still up and running big when I got out here, but no, they had to stay over there. And then they would transport them to the strip to perform, and then after that, go back over there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's a truth and a reality that we should never forget.
Mm-hmm.
And we should tell our young people about that.
I agree with you.
Because they need to know where we came from, and they need to know who the trailblazers were and are.
Yeah. Honestly, I think that's why the Moulin Rouge is no longer here, because that is very similar to America, how America doesn't like to talk about slavery. It happened.
It happened.
You can't erase it, but they want to really pretend like it didn't happen, just like they really want to erase the N-word, out of the book Huckleberry Finn. It's in there over 200 times. Mm-hmm. They want to replace that word with the word slave, mm-hmm. which is, I guess, a nicer word. But I think the Moulin Rouge is not here because they don't want to think about that.
That's a problem with us as a culture, as a race, as a country. You know, we want to erase things that this is the ground, that this is the road that brought us to this place. Even to all of the statues that they want to take down. I don't know if I'm still of two minds about that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like it's forever in our face, but it's a part of our history.
It is.
You know what I'm saying?
Keep them up.
You know, we need to be reminded of the trauma, the drama, and the tragedy that they created, not only for African Americans, but for people that didn't agree with them. Mm-hmm. You know, so you want to erase that, and then we forget. And once we forget, we get this washed up
real
image.
Pretty.
Yeah, but it's a facade of who we really are.
Right.
That was racism.
Yeah.
There were cultural phenomenons that just almost destroyed us.
Yeah.
You know, but you asked me something that was the most one of the most powerful things that happened to me. I'll call it an epiphany or a spiritual awakening, because I left Arkansas feeling like I can't stand white folks. I don't like them white folks this. I don't like them white folks that. You know, white folks. And then it was an epiphany. One day I heard, well, had it not been for the help of a few good white folks, black folks might still be in slavery.
Correct.
Because we had to have them be the forerunners in some areas of our life. And so that was when I started to tone it down a bit. Mm-hmm. But racism, and that was powerful for me, because I just didn't want to deal with white folks, period. Because, I mean, it was like, I saw a young girl, probably about 19, maybe even younger, call my grandmother by her first name. Hey, Minnie. I'm named after her, by the way. And I'm like, why she call you that, Grandma? And Grandma was like, please be quiet. Because, see, I could get us killed, you know. And I didn't like it then, and I don't know how great of a slave I would have made if I'd had the same attitude that I have. But I recognize and understand now, you know, I'm only about 2-3 generations from slavery, you know, but I'm moving forward. I understand it. I know where it came from. I know where it's going. You know, I'm going to do my part to strengthen my people. Anybody I have a chance to talk to, you know, go to work, get a job, don't expect a handout, you know, and then we'll be okay. That will start the change.
Gotcha.
That will start the change.
Okay. All right. Well, being a baby boomer, you have seen America at various stages. When was America great to you? I know that is a question. You kind of have to dig a little deep, but you know, right now it's a lot of people wearing hats that say "Make America Great Again," and so I'm still trying to figure out, when was America great?
You know, if I were to look at that, I would have to look at our illustrious president, such as he is, and I want to say this strength base, okay? That "Make America Great" silliness that he's spewing out there is silliness that he's spewing out there. America is what it is. It is a land of the free in degrees. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It is a land of opportunity in degrees, you know, and it is great individually. It may be great for you this year.
Gotcha.
But it may not be so great for the next person. I think that America has great opportunities if we're willing to work for them.
Yeah.
I think that it is just great in and of itself because we, in this country, there are opportunities to grow. There are a lot of people that are not making it because of their level of determination. Because I'm a country girl straight out of the cotton fields of Arkansas, and I consider myself successful.
Gotcha.
But I've always worked, and I always knew that there was something better than this, whatever this is.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? If I'm not satisfied with it, it's up to me to make it
Right.
better.
Now, did your parents instill that in you?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I
Where
don't
do you
think
think you got that from?
I don't know. I think it's something that's innate. I think that there are things in each of us that's innate, and we can take it and we can build it, or it can die. I will give my mother credit for insisting that I finish high school.
Okay.
You need to go to school. You need to get
Yeah.
that. You need to get that high school education.
Yeah.
So I give her credit for that.
Yeah.
I think my wisdom and things that I've learned down through the years have enhanced that.
Okay.
You know, and I just wasn't satisfied with so many things that were happening in my early life.
Right.
And so I always felt like there's got to be something better than this.
Yeah.
You know, and so I
Yeah.
wanted that.
So you were searching,
Yes.
and in your search, you picked up different things.
Yes. Yes.
You know.
And I think about that. I think that that's how we all grow
Yeah.
one way or another. I mean, it's like I told my children they were great. I love you. I love you. And that was important to them. And I hear them talk sometime now, and I'm like, I don't remember teaching you that. So where'd you get that from? So they continued their
Along the
own
way.
growth. You know, they continued their own growth and development. That was important.
Yeah.
I think the other great thing that happened to me, it just happened the other day. I was I'm a spiritual person, and I
Okay.
was talking to God,
Yeah.
and wondering where, what's going on, and it came to me like this, that I have knowledge, I have wisdom, and I have understanding, and these are gifts from God, which create an algorithm of success for me. And that's how God revealed it to me, like, okay, yeah, that's great. Huh? And it came in that order,
Okay.
that I have knowledge,
Yeah.
I have wisdom, and I have understanding. And I would say to anyone who hears this, if you don't have knowledge, seek it. Just because you don't know today doesn't mean you never know. And once you gain that knowledge, have the wisdom to use it wisely, if you will, and understand why that is so important. And whether you believe in God or not, God will create an algorithm of success for you and blessings. That is my word of life to you, because it's so important. There's no need to walk around being the third dummy on the left. There's no reason for that.
Yeah.
You know,
There's a lot of knowledge out there, a lot of
It's out-
information
it is.
out there, so no one should
And
should
one
lack
of the
knowledge.
things that I realized this morning as I was listening to the Willie Lynch letters is like, it has always been, one of the greatest tools he used against us was to not teach us how to read and damage our language. Okay?
Yeah.
So if you don't know something, that's okay.
Yeah.
Go find out. Go learn. Look at the book. They say if you want to keep something from black people, hide it in a book. Go look in the book. Find
in
the
there.
book. It's in there.
And the crazy thing is now you can Google it.
You know what I'm saying?
Google it, whatever
and
you
audio,
want.
use the audio book if you don't want to sit down and read
Yeah.
it. You don't think you don't understand the words.
That's true.
But seek knowledge.
The Bible is even audio.
Absolutely. So there's no reason whatsoever that we should be without knowledge and understanding.
Yeah.
My first commitment in life is to my family.
Okay.
That's my commitment in life.
Yeah.
And I love them, and I want to protect them to the best of my ability. And then it spreads abroad to everybody else. If you want to know something, ask me.
Yeah.
If I can help you, let me know.
Yeah.
I will never help you to my detriment, but if I can help you, I will.
I like that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, be kind to one another. Be nice to one another. That is powerful. Just be nice. It doesn't really cost you anything.
At all.
Because being nice could simply be like, talk to you later, boo. Because I can't do you right now.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
That is really nice.
That's really
compared
nice.
to what you could have said.
What I could have said, could have done. Because I could have damaged you with a word or
Right,
two.
That part. Now, do you have grandkids?
I have 6.
That's awesome.
One beautiful granddaughter and 5 gorgeous grandsons.
Oh.
2 great grandsons.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm busy.
Okay.
I love
So
them.
then, what do they call you?
Let's see. My oldest grandson calls me Grand.
Okay.
The next one calls me Granny, and the other ones, they just call me Granny.
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 Okay. All right.
I
good.
like it.
Good.
I do.
Good.
I do.
Now, what do you do with them?
I don't get to spend as much time with them as I plan to starting next year.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm
next
so busy.
Year,
I'm
you're
actually
retiring?
no. I'm not going to retire.
Okay.
I'm not gonna retire because I love my work.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna be that person that sits around trying to figure out what to do and become old and cranky.
Gotcha.
I might become old and bad knees, but I'm not gonna be cranky because those words should not be synonymous with one another.
Gotcha.
And I'm gonna stay busy until doing what I do now until my next call comes.
Okay.
I will work until I die.
Okay.
I
All
will.
right.
But next year, I do plan to free up some of my time so I can spend more time because they don't have the memories with me. Especially my younger ones, like my older ones do. And so I need to create an opportunity for them to make
Right.
those memories with Granny.
Good. Good. And then, what are some things that you do in your pastime? Do you like to sit home? Do you have a garden? That is a question that I had because I know that you were used to that way of life when you were younger, growing your own food and things like that. Do you have a garden now?
Heck no. I need to come in a box, bottle, or a carton.
That is funny.
I don't do a garden. I don't have time for a garden.
Okay.
I do help my son with the business periodically. I'm working on getting my church started because I'm a pastor.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? I'm working on restarting the church or determining what God would have me to do next because I'm a teacher.
Okay.
By passion, by drive, I'm a teacher.
Yeah.
And I want to teach. I want to teach. I taught at the National University for a couple of semesters. I really would like to teach here. Oh, wait a minute. I want to
Great.
teach here at the campus.
Okay.
Because I think that I think that this campus has an opportunity to lay a very strong foundation for students as they move to the next level of their education. I
Gotcha.
really do.
What subjects do you teach?
I like human services.
Okay.
I like social. I'm a licensed social. I'm a master social worker. I'm not licensed.
Gotcha.
Bachelor's degree in human service counseling and a minor in substance abuse counseling, and that kind of. And it really helps me on my job where I am now.
Oh, good.
So
Good.
those things. No, I want to go back to teaching. That's probably what I'll do when I retire from the department.
Gotcha. CCSD, or you want to do the higher education? Stick with the higher education.
Higher education.
Yeah, it's funny because a lot of people do, and I think that's great, the higher education. But there's a study that is called, I want to say it's like the 3rd grade to prison population or something like that. It's a study that if a child doesn't know how to read by the time they're in the 3rd grade, they're already fixing a prison bed for that person, So my passion, I guess, is with those younger people because I just really think that we got to catch them at that age in order to build that foundation that you're talking about, with working hard, integrity, and, things like that. So it takes a village, though. We got to, at all levels, we got to get these people and teach knowledge. So
I think that for me, when I started college, I didn't start until I was 50, okay? But when I started, I said, I want to be a lawyer. And as I started my education, I learned along the way that I need to help them before they need a lawyer.
yeah,
I want to be able to reach them before they actually need a lawyer.
Right.
I want to speak that life or grab them before they make that mistake. And so that was the age group. I don't know if I have the patience for those younger.
I get it.
You know what I'm saying? And so
They're different now.
They are, and I think that we need to know our weaknesses and our strengths, and I think that would be a very weak area for me, but I think that teenagers, I think that I could probably get them a little bit better because I work with a lot of teenagers in my job, and they tell me that I'm really good. You're really good with teenagers, Minnie, and I think I don't know that to be a fact, but okay, because I know that if I can reach them. And that's across all color lines because I work with all across the color lines. And I know that if I can speak that word that will trigger something in them to seek and to want something better, like this does not define who you are.
Right.
There's something greater in you.
Yeah.
If I can help them to tap into that at that age when the mind is still so young and powerful, the brain is still going good, you know what I'm saying?
Still growing.
Then I think that's important. That's what's important. That's where I want to reach at.
Good. Well, I'll just tell you this. You have dropped some wonderful nuggets, life lessons, things like that. If you had one last word to say to the young people of today, what would that be?
I think I already spoke that word.
You did.
I
you
did.
spoke a lot.
No, but that one word is that.
information.
And I mean, I think that all young people, but I really would speak to my African American young people, and that would be to really learn who you are. Learn who you are. And read the Willie Lynch letters. See how the purpose, the focus, and the design was to destroy us. And that foundation to destroy us was laid so many years ago. But we can change that. You can change that by seeking knowledge, by seeking wisdom and understanding, by not worrying about what you don't know, but worry about what you're gonna know. Get out there and learn better. Commit to yourself first and then to your family. Love your family, your people, because we are worth it. Stay home. Don't let drugs take you down. Don't let that be a part of your life, your future. Don't even smoke marijuana. I know it's legal, but don't even start it because it destroys you. And African American people were never able to consume this Western culture way of life. Food, down to the food and the stuff that we even use to cleanse our bodies. It was never designed for us. And we were not designed to be able to handle it. So seek out who you are. Who are your forefathers? Who were the people that laid the groundwork for you individually to get where you are today? And are you satisfied? Because if you are not, look in a book and you'll find a better way.
Well, shoot. I love that.
Okay.
It has been such a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's my
for
pleasure,
stopping
my
by
joy.
and just giving us this information, this knowledge, and honestly, I feel like a fire has been lit in me.
Well, I hope so. I hope so.
I hope you guys out there feel the same thing. Get out there, get the information. It's out there. It is there, and know who you are. If you or anyone you know that wants to be on Pieces of She, like I said, this is the finale of season 3. Next season will start sometime in November, and I'm actually going to have a co-host to help me with season 4, and we are going to be broadcasting small Black businesses in the area, having people on, telling us about who they are and what they have going on. So that's season 4. If you guys want to reach me, Instagram, pieces.of.she. Twitter, I'm at piecesofshe1. Right here on www.digitalvegas.tv. Click on Watch Now, find my channel, and go ahead and look at all the episodes. You can also email me at trish@piecesofshe.com, and you can always call the Digital Vegas studio, 702-625-5070. And of course, you can listen to this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Anchor app, everywhere that you can listen to podcasts on, we are there. So thank you again.